John Whittingdale.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. It is a privilege to join honourable members in paying tribute to Her Late Majesty, not just on my own behalf, but on behalf of all the people of the Maldon constituency. Many fine tributes have been given both yesterday and today, and so many honourable members have spoken of Her Late Majesty's dedication, her commitment, her remarkable sense of duty, and her lifetime of service, which was always performed with dignity, compassion, and kindness. I echo all of those sentiments. It has been an extraordinary week, starting with the appointment of a new Prime Minister and ending with the accession of a new sovereign. I congratulate my right friend, the Prime Minister. I'm sure she will be grateful that her first audience with the monarch was with Her Late Majesty, Queen Elizabeth. I'm sure that His Majesty King Charles will continue to provide advice and counsel, but my right honourable friend must be sad that she will not benefit from the extraordinary wisdom and experience that Her Late Majesty had in advising 15 successive Prime Ministers. Before entering the House, I worked for one of those Prime Ministers, Margaret Thatcher. She used to fix in her diary the only immutable engagement in 11 years, the weekly audience with Her Majesty. I suspect there were occasionally some quite robust discussions. She never spoke of what was said. But I do know that she immensely valued the experience of Her Late Majesty and was hugely honoured when she attended Margaret Thatcher, her own 70th birthday party. A number of members have spoken about how they're asked in primary schools whether they've met the Queen, and I've had exactly that same experience. But I've also been struck on international visits when so many parliamentarians from across the world have spoken of their admiration of the Queen and envied the fact that we have benefited from having her as our sovereign. And we have seen that in the global tributes with Union Jacks and the red, white and blue across America, Brazil, the extraordinary display on Sydney Opera House yesterday, and of course the words of the President of France, a country that has not always had great relations with the British monarch, but who said, you have your Queen, we have the Queen. Madam Deputy Speaker, I, like many honourable members, or right honourable members, benefited from meeting the Queen as a member of the Privy Council, and I had the good fortune to accompany her on one occasion to the Cenotaph, which is one of the roles of the Secretary of State for Culture, Media and Sport. But it was her two visits to Maldon which my constituents will always value. The first in 1971 to mark the 800th anniversary of the award of the Charter to Maldon by Henry II, and the second in 2010, which I was privileged to be able to take part in, when she visited Maldon Salt before walking down the High Street to have lunch in the town hall. On that day, it seemed that the whole town turned out to celebrate her visit. Today, the whole town, and indeed the whole of my constituency, are once again united in mourning the passage of Her Late Majesty and in pledging allegiance to King Charles III.